Overall, school mornings are just a Hunger Games brawl of brutal challenges and obstacles you have to endure on a daily basis that
I can't even get past the first stage, which is waking up for school. What's good, y'all? It's your boy Soldaya, and I don't know if y'all relate to this, but I used to hate going to school, especially waking up in the morning at 6 a.m. knowing I have school. That shit was pure mental agony, I swear. So in this video, we gonna be reacting to school mornings are pure mental torture. This gonna be a good one, so without any time waste, let's get right into it.
waking up for school in the morning is by far one of the worst possible experiences to ever happen to the average humanoid.
That's a fact. Like, I hated it so much, y'all don't even understand. But hey, I'm glad I'm graduated now.
Nothing is worse than getting out of your bed during ungodly hours with Kevin Durant levels of crusty eyes, a numb hand, and a pulsing migraine from the
Wait, a numb hand?
thought of having to get ready to head to Algebra 2 with Mr. Garrison. Hearing those multiple iPhone alarms send pulsating sound waves down my entire body gives me more PTSD than the Avengers witnessing Thanos pull up to Wakanda for the first time.
Holy shit, I'm getting PTSD right now. I can just... Oh yeah, I'm so glad I've graduated.
But to really get an idea on just how terrible waking up for school mornings are, we first need to go through the multiple different stages of challenges you'll be facing from the moment you get out of bed all the way till the time you're first...
The morning I get out of bed, I'm already finished. I'm already like, school again. I have to go through this 5 times this week. I hated it so much.
Class starts. Now, in my non-humble opinion, while waking up and getting out of bed is hard enough by itself, the actual gauntlet of suffering that comes as soon as you get out of your bed to start the day is so much worse. Waking up...
No, y'all don't understand. I couldn't even like wake up for bed. It was so bad. I'd be so comfortable in my bed. The alarm would ring. I'd be like, let me sleep for like 5 more minutes. Then those 5 minutes will turn into an hour. Then guess what? I'm late. Waking up was the worst part of it for me.
A couple minutes before your alarm is one of the worst moments of this entire experience, because for one, after it happens, I feel like nuking anything in a 10-meter radius. But for two, after you notice you're awake earlier than you expected, you instinctively press the snooze button and start to doze off again and do the
facts. And once you doze off again, then even though it feels like 1 second, you check your alarm again and you see the time. 1 hour's gone by and you're late.
Mental math on how you can afford just 5 more minutes. The next time you open your eyes, it's 30 minutes before school starts, and now I have to speed run my entire routine, and my brain...
That gotta be the realest thing I've ever heard, because y'all don't understand the amount of time. If I wake up, right, and let's say it's only like 3 minutes before the alarm rings, I'll be like, I got 3 minutes. Let me just rest for another 3 minutes. That was the biggest mistake ever, because those 3 minutes turn into 30 minutes real quick, and those 30 minutes turn into over an hour, and before you know it, you're late or you're rushing.
Immediately starts calculating how many minutes to spend on every single task. Anyone who also ends up in this situation already knows that the idea of a shower is completely unviable. You better start praying to God that you can wear your deodorant and cologne for the rest of the day without someone catching a whiff of your presence and disintegrating to atoms.
That's a fact, bro. There's days that, this was before I had dreads. When I was in school, I didn't really have dreads like that. But there's days I wouldn't even comb my hair out or anything. I'd go to school looking homeless down there. I wouldn't care about what fit I'd wear. My eyes would be red like I just woke up. My hair would be nappy. It was terrible. I'm telling y'all, it was bad.
But let's assume you managed to get out of bed half awake and step out of your room. The next boss level you will have to deal with is the bathroom. As someone who has younger siblings, the amount of times I've gone to wash my face half awake and barely able to stand, and then come to find out that the bathroom light is both on and the door is locked, is utterly criminal.
That's a fact. No, because I have 2 younger siblings, right? We wake up around the same time. So when I woke up from school, sometimes I go to try get ready. Guess what? The door's locked. He's already in there. He's not even doing nothing. He's just using the washroom on his phone, scrolling, and it has to make me mad another time because those school mornings were making me so mad.
To a certain point, I trained my body to instinctively head to the downstairs bathroom and even move my toothbrush because there is absolutely no way that I was waiting 30 minutes to use the sink because someone decided to play with bath bubbles for too long. Even if I managed to get lucky and whoever was in there left early, as soon as I stepped inside, I'd find all the hot water gone, a lake on the ground, and the most insane...
That's so real. When you can't even shower after someone else, because if you try it, all the hot water will be gone and you're basically showering in ice at that point.
combination of a post-toilet stench that I'd ever smelled. Once you're able to get into the rhythm of things and get your fit on, it was then time to actually head to prison. I mean school. Most people, including
I think you mean prison. That's like the correct term.
myself, usually went by bus or car, and then you had the minority that either walked or biked there instead. Something I want to briefly mention is the fact that once
At first, it depends on the school because like I transferred schools a lot. At first, it was like by bus. Then later on, I had to start walking to school. It was like a 10-minute walk. Keep in mind, my parents were right there. They just didn't want to drop me off. So yeah, I had to walk 10 minutes, no matter if it was cold, if it was warm, if it was, no, why am I saying 10 minutes? More like 16 minutes. Yeah, in whatever weather it is. Keep in mind, I didn't even want to go to school in the first place. I'm already mad. I'm already tired. Walking another 16 minutes in the snow just to get to school and hear the teacher yap about some fucking algebra. We don't care.
you're able to get your license/car at some point during your high school tenure, the amount of stress that you're able to put off of yourself is actually like life-saving. Not depending on anyone.
Yeah, I didn't get my license until after I graduated, so I was suffering.
Else to take you anywhere, especially school, is such a lifesaver, especially in these kinds of situations. I really want to put a major focus on the school bus because while I personally stopped going on it after middle school, I did not forget the absolute misery that I endured on that vehicle of chaos and destruction.
Everyone who took school buses knows exactly what he's talking about.
Whenever the bus came to my neighborhood to pick me up, as soon as I got on it, my number one objective would always be to find an empty seat and start catching up on all the sleep I missed. Unfortunately,
Mine was to find one of my best friends, bro, so we can just yap before school starts.
Couldn't get any more sleep because anytime I laid my head anywhere, I started taking tick damage and was just in pain until I got to school. Another reason sleep was impossible was because niggas in the back of the bus kept screaming at the top of their lungs at the worst jokes ever conceived. Yo, bro, guess what? What? Chicken dookie butt.
If someone said that to me when I'm like tired already, or already tired, already mad, bro, I'd grab them by the collar and just... Hi, let me stop.
An integral part of the school morning experience is the antics of the school bus driver. The amount of goofy and insane stories that occurred while I was still a bus kid bring back some not so pleasant memories. You have two types of bus drivers. The first one is chill as hell and even has conversations with the kids up front from time to time. You walk on the bus and he nods or smiles at you and just heads to school with minimal distractions.
My bus driver was a dickhead.
Someone could be having a Just Dance competition in the back of the bus, and as long as they don't personally bother the bus driver, they would get us to school safe and sound without them turning their head back even once. Now, on the other side of that coin, we have the bus drivers that have more crash outs than Benson on a Wednesday afternoon.
Yep, which is exactly my bus driver. He'd crash out for the most little of things. Like, it was crazy.
What the heck, Rigby? What's the matter with you? Ah! Rigby!
Now, I get that
Factual description of my bus driver.
some people can get very tired and fed up with being at work, especially when you have to deal with kids on a daily basis, but
Low-key, thinking back about it, I don't blame the bus driver because we was some real bad kids back there, bro. We'd be making a mess, doing all sorts of stuff. But the bus driver took it too far a lot of the times. Like, I remember there was this one time the bus driver, like, called us names or something like that. And, like, it was a whole thing going on. And it was like, wow.
these bus drivers would always be doing the most, especially during morning pickups. While I've had multiple crash out bus drivers over the years, there was this one driver who was like anyone I'd ever seen. He was this middle-aged black guy with a receding hairline and was 5'1", so he was shorter than most of the kids in my grade. Now,
That's crazy.
for the sake of the video, let's call him Mr. Roberts. There was one time when we were all headed to school, and per usual, some kids in the back were doing some dumb shit and caused Mr. Roberts to constantly look back and tell them to stop, or they would get written up. Now, the kids in the back instantly called cap on this because they've heard that phrase way too many times and have still gotten away with stuff they did in the past, so they thought it was going to be no exception this time, and they just tried to call his bluff. I don't know if something happened earlier that morning to Mr. Roberts, stubbed his toe on the way out of the bathroom or something, but that man was not playing around because he fully stopped the bus on the side of the road, got up from his chair, and proceeded to cuss out the kids in the back for 5 minutes straight. I could have sworn he was about to pop a blood vessel at any second. You want to know what the worst part was? We were quite literally 1 minute away from the drop-off zone, and our bus was within walking distance of the front door. Keep in mind, we were already running late to begin with, and these Neanderthals in the back just decided to give us a tardy all for no reason. All y'all had to do was stay.
That's crazy. He went But keep in mind, they were like almost at school. They pissed the bus driver enough to pull off to the side, stop the bus, get up, then cuss them out. That's wild.
Quiet for 4 effing seconds, and we would have had no issues at all. But they were like, nah, let's just keep acting like hyenas that just discovered food for the first time in 5 days. Finally, after all the tomfoolery that just occurred, we finally make it to school. So that means everything is peaceful and good now, right?
No!
Hell no, bro. Everything is just starting to begin.
There's no way out of this.
The morning tomfoolery experience reaches its climax the second you enter the school building. Something I haven't mentioned that makes the school morning experience even more torturous is when you have a test in your first class of the day.
Holy, y'all don't understand how much I hated that. Imagine waking up in the morning at 6 a.m., getting ready, going to a school you don't want to be at, just to find out you have a test in the morning. Whew, that gotta be the worst thing ever.
The amount of last-minute study sessions I had to cram before I went to take my test are incalculable. A fear I will never forget is when I was studying to take a test the next morning and accidentally overslept before my alarm could wake me up. I swear, I thought my life was over and I was about to get crucified by my parents the next day once they found out what my score was.
It doesn't make it... You know what makes everything worse? When you have strict parents. My parents were so strict when it came to school that it was already making everything harder than it needed to be.
Going back to the moment I pulled up to school, you would presume that walking directly to class would be super easy and nothing crazy or strange would happen on the way. But the school hallway has its own set of problems compared to everything else I've talked about so far. We were all aware of the people who make it their mission to make walking to class impossible by moving at 0.1 speed. It's even...
I know exactly what he's talking about.
Worse,
especially if you have a crowded school.
It's multiple people doing this because there's literally a wall of niggas that you have to try to dodge through just to get to your next class on time. Once I was able to get to class and actually sit down and breathe for the first time in 2 hours, I'd just sit around waiting for us to start or talk to my friends to pass the time. Now, a majority of the time, like I said, I was just waiting at my desk because I had no energy to do anything else. And when that happened...
The majority of the time, I was just sleeping, bro, because at a point, I just gave up and I was like, you know what? I need to catch up on sleep. And history class or like social studies was like the best time for me to catch up on sleep.
And there would always be a loud ass group of girls in the back of the class just talking about God knows what.
Don't get me started on those hot Cheeto girls, bruh. Whew, as if the mornings was not already bad enough.
7:30 in the morning. Everyone around me is either hungry or sleep deprived, and these people are over here trying their hardest to one-up each other in a yelling competition. Finally, after all the BS is over, the teacher is finally ready to start actually doing something, and the school day finally starts. Overall, school mornings are just a Hunger Games brawl of brutal challenges and obstacles you have to endure on a daily basis that never actually seem to get better.
I can't even get past the first stage, which is waking up for school. That's like pure agony.
And while you can do things to improve this experience like sleeping earlier and having things ready the night before, that still never directly leads to a perfect or even smooth experience either. You just have to train yourself to push through all the pain and anguish and make sure you actually survive to tell the tale.
This is such a relatable video because like I've been saying, I hated school mornings so much. Like, despite everything he said in this video, getting up in the morning would forever be the worst for me because I just get up and sigh knowing that my day is gonna be filled with so much bullshit. Like, it was crazy. But if y'all enjoyed this video, don't forget to drop a like, comment, and subscribe, and let me know down in the comments if how you guys' school mornings was like, because I'm curious. Have a great day and peace.